Hey everyone, Gill Gross here, post-match. Daniil Medvedev versus Taylor Fritz, Cincinnati 2022 quarterfinal. If you're not here for spoilers, click off the video in 3, 2, 1. Daniil Medvedev through to the semis, straight set win over Taylor Fritz in a matchup that I knew would be high level, was definitely a highly competitive first set that Fritz had every opportunity to win, holding 3 set points, losing it decisively in a tiebreak that Medvedev won 7-1. And then the second set, pretty drama-free, Medvedev in control. Let's get into it. The scoreline that I just described, 7-6, 6-3 Medvedev, it's happened a couple times this month against good hardcourt players by Daniil Medvedev. I will give you 2 other examples. Medvedev beat Mimir Kecmanovic in Los Cabos 7-6, 6-1. Medvedev then played Cam Norrie in the final. He won 7-5, 6-love. Now he's played Taylor Fritz 7-6, 6-3. Daniil Medvedev has lost once in August. It was to Nick Kyrgios, but he actually won the second set 6-4. So he's undefeated in second sets in the month of August in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matches now. But the more notable thing is that we've seen against really good players who have pushed Medvedev in the first set, failed to push him again in the second set. Well, what happened here? What's going on? Medvedev's rally tolerance or shot tolerance, again, synonyms to me, it is an investment, meaning a player with full energy capacity, full focus, full discipline, full commitment to patience and point building may be able to exploit Medvedev in neutral baseline rallies for a period of time. If they have the talent to do it, Taylor Fritz does. Arguably, Kecmanovic and Norrie do. If they have the talent to do it, they can win rallies against Daniil. They can take advantage of the fact that he doesn't always have the best ground stroke speed, the ability to create offense from behind the baseline with ease. They can take advantage of that. They can be patient and construct and win long rallies. And in this match against Taylor Fritz in particular, it felt like Medvedev was on his heels in the baseline rallies. It felt like Fritz was patiently finding finishes and sometimes even outlasting Medvedev. He had the intensity and the consistency to be able to do that. But again, Medvedev's patience, his rally tolerance, his ability to drag out these points, they are an investment for the future. And oftentimes, once Medvedev wins the first set, his opponent's ability to play those points to the level that they were able to in the first set, it goes down. And I have the stats here to prove it because that's what happened. Fritz's feet got tired. He didn't have he couldn't maintain his discipline and his commitment to working rallies. And I do think he got tired and the consistency went down because his footwork, the quality of his footwork, dipped. So if we just look at rallies that went 5 or more shots, that's all we're going to look at here. In the first set, Fritz made 5 unforced errors on 42 points. Again, 42 points where it went 5 shots or more. So that's an unforced error rate of 12%. Very low. That's excellent. Fritz wasn't missing. And Fritz was winning the medium rallies lengths and the long rallies over 9 shots. He was winning both. He won both of those categories in the first set, despite losing the set. Now in the second set, reversal. Medvedev won medium. Medvedev won 9+ as well. And Fritz made 6 unforced errors on 17 points. That's an unforced error rate of 35%. Taylor Fritz's unforced error rate in the second set in long rallies exclusively basically tripled. Why? Because what Medvedev does to you, deep, consistent, not a lot of pace to work with, speedy, well-positioned defensively. Your ability to overcome that requires a physical and mental investment that while many players are willing to make in the first set, they are unable to continue as the match progresses. So I want to point that out, and that's my first point. Just a couple more, really. I mean, Fritz did get tight. He should have won the first set. He had 3 set points, and on 6 break points, he wasn't able to convert any of them. And while a few of them were well saved by Daniil Medvedev, Fritz had an approach shot on his forehand and an approach shot on his backhand, and on both occasions, he made errors, didn't force Medvedev to come up with a passing shot even, got tight in the arm, seemed to decelerate a little bit and try to steer the ball instead of really hitting the ball, and he missed these 2 approach shots. So you look at the first set, and you say Taylor should have won it because on one of those points, at the very least, Taylor should have sealed the deal, or at least force Medvedev to come up with something great on a passing shot. And maybe Fritz's lack of confidence in terms of finishing volleys play into how tight he feels when he has to hit an approach shot. I don't know. In terms of Fritz's ability to shorten points, you know, Fritz has the power baseline style that Medvedev generally destroys. We've seen it in the Rublev head-to-head. I think we've seen it in the Sinner head-to-head. Your linear baseline power doesn't work against Daniil because he's 12 feet behind the baseline. He's going to be a shock absorber. The pace isn't going to bother him. And if you make him move side to side and try to hit through him, you're not going to get through that wall. You're rarely going to get through that wall. So as we've discussed many times, you have to use the drop shot. You have to come in and drop volley. You know, come in, hit an approach shot, and volley short. Like, these are you have to be resourceful to finish against Medvedev. Fritz knew that. He's got great coaches. Michael Russell, David Nankin, Paul Annacone. They're all in his ear telling him that. And he tried. He hit some drop shots. He came forward a couple times. The execution just isn't there right now. The skill isn't quite there right now. Even if Taylor knows what he needs to do, he can't quite rely on that. So while I do think that he was in charge of a lot of the baseline rallies, that he was playing great, consistent power tennis, and that almost put him through the finish line in the first set, did I think he was really able to incorporate the variety that is required to finish Medvedev sustainably? No. I don't think he was able to do that. I'll finish with Medvedev serving. Fantastic performance, especially in the tiebreak. Now, Fritz was demoralized come the first set tiebreak. Absolutely demoralized. And he played a very poor tiebreak because he must have felt mentally, well, I should never be here. How am I still playing this first set? And that's a difficult thing to overcome mentally. Certainly, Fritz could not. He played a poor tiebreak, but at the same time, Medvedev's serving really went up a notch, and he made a ton of great first serves. A couple aces, certainly. He finished the match with 18. And I was impressed with Medvedev's serving performance, hitting 18 aces, because I thought Fritz returned exceptionally well. Medvedev didn't hit a lot of service winners, only 12 in the match. And it's very common to see a player hit more service winners than aces. Obviously, it's a little bit easier because an ace is an even better serve, you know, in general terms. So 121 miles per hour average, and Fritz, pretty much when he got a racket on it, was sending most of them back into the court, but Medvedev was still able to serve so well, hitting 18 aces, that he still got the free points, despite what I felt was a good returning effort by Taylor Fritz. Ultimately, this was just a vintage Daniil Medvedev performance. He's looking very good, moving on to the semifinals at a tournament that he has had great success at. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.